Hello, my name is Katie Markovich, and I work with the Department of Social and Health Services Division of Vocational Rehabilitation. For those of you who may not know, DVR is a statewide resource assisting people with disabilities to prepare for, secure, maintain, advance in, or regain employment. DVR also partners with organizations and businesses to develop employment opportunities. Today, I'm going to share with you a little bit about myself and why I would like to serve as your next chair to the DIN Business Resource Group, and what makes me a qualified candidate. But before I do that, I would like to say thank you to our outgoing executive board and to all of the members. The board's management and commitment to our members and our members' commitment over this past year, with all the challenges brought on by the pandemic, doesn't go unrecognized. Now a little bit about me. My career in state service has been dedicated to improving the employment outcomes for all people with disabilities. I've worked with DVR for 16 years in various positions of increasing responsibility, from a governor's intern to a vocational rehabilitation counselor to my current position as a supported employment program manager and supported employment state government program coordinator. As the coordinator, I work in partnership with the Office of Financial Management, State Human Resource, higher education, state agencies, and with supported employment provider agencies to promote the recruitment, hiring, retention, and advancement of people with disabilities in supported employment. There are a number of duties assigned to the chair that members must consider when deciding who next to elect that make me a good fit for the position. And they're very similar things that I currently do in my position with DVR. The first job duty of the chair is to act as the lead facilitator for all DIN general meetings and executive committee meetings. I've facilitated multiple DVR team, committee, and stakeholder meetings, and I'm currently leading DIN's policy and resource subcommittee meetings since last November. Second duty of the chair is to develop monthly DIN meeting agendas. At DVR, I develop with our executive leadership team and state-supported employment provider agencies quarterly meeting agendas. Likewise, at the end of each DIN subcommittee meeting, we determine the next steps in our next meeting's agenda items. Third duty of the chair is to act as a DIN representative to the executive sponsor, leadership, and others as needed. I serve as DVR's DIN agency representative and also represent DVR on other disability-related councils. I provide information and resources about DVR and support the employment of individuals with disabilities statewide and bring information back, issues and concerns related to the particular disability group, back to my leadership. My greatest asset is my affinity and passion for disability issues and employment for all people with disabilities. My personal, professional, and educational experiences with disabilities have given me opportunities to share my perspectives with a variety of audience, from workforce development councils, state disability focused councils, DVR customers, state agency and private employees, disability advocates, schools, and community-based organizations, and other parents like myself with developmental disabilities and who have children with disabilities. In sharing my perspectives, I work to create a safe space where others can engage in dialogue around specific disability topics to develop awareness and knowledge. I consider myself a facilitator of the discussion, not the expert. I ensure space for everyone to engage in the conversation and share if they so choose. I know that my perspectives are not representative of the whole disability community. There is no one-size-fits-all perspective. In closing, our vision as the DIN for Washington to be an employer of choice for people with disabilities. Together, we achieve more. We as a DIN BRG are part of the large workforce development system, and together with our partners, BRGs, state agencies, and with other key stakeholders, can braid and leverage resources and promote diversity, equity, and inclusion and employment for all people and on all levels of state government. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. And I'm going to give Sarah just a few minutes to get ready. And then Sarah, if you are ready, let me know too. So the next person running for chair is Sarah Norton from DSHS. And Sarah, can you read a little slower, please, so our ASL interpreters can follow along?
Yes, absolutely. And let me know when you're all set and I will begin.
We are ready when you are.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Norton, and I work for a small agency under DSHS called Disability Determination Services. I have an undergraduate degree in psychology and a master's degree in library and information science. In my current position, I am a trainer for adjudicators who make the medical and vocational decisions on Social Security disability claims. Before I get into the thick of things, I want to thank you all for giving me this opportunity. I was humbled and honored to find out I had been nominated for chair of DIN. It means a lot to me. I first joined DIN when I went to the kickoff event in August of 2019, and then my first meeting in September of 2019, and I was blown away. I've remained an active member since, and I am currently one of the co-leads on the Education, Training, and Advocacy Subcommittee. I absolutely love doing this. More than just that, though, I love what we are doing here at DIN. Okay, I do need to pause here and say, I have never done a candidate speech before. I've given many talks, I've done countless trainings, but I've never had to give a candidate speech. So when I found out, I immediately went and I researched how to give a candidate speech. Google gave me some great advice. The first thing it said was to be funny, to make jokes. If you've ever had a friend introduce you and say, oh, this is Sarah, and she's really funny, and then that friend turns to you and says, say something funny. That's kind of what I was feeling when I read that, funny on demand. So we'll see how the jokes go. The second thing I learned was to make this look easy. Not sure how well I'm doing at that, but hopefully it's going okay. So after be funny and make it look easy, I read to get to the point quickly. So my point, I would like to be chair of DIN. I think the work that we're doing in DIN is incredibly important. Disability awareness and visibility in the workplace is something that we all know is lacking in many, many areas. And DIN is working to improve this, to help employers better understand the adversities we face and how they can help us overcome them. For those of us who have disabilities, it's a place to find community and support and ways to advocate for ourselves. For those who want to be allies, we are helping them grow in this role. In my job as a trainer, I emphasize, as an employee of the state, our role is to serve and advocate for the citizens of Washington. I see being the chair of DIN to serve and advocate for all of you, to ensure the momentum we have built continues to grow, to ensure DIN has the resources and opportunities needed to continue to flourish and expand our work to make state agencies a fully diverse and inclusive workplace. Again, thank you all for this opportunity.
Thank you, Sarah. Next, for co-chair, we have Lance Proctor. Lance, are you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right, take it away then.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for giving me a few minutes to chat with you today. I'm not the most experienced or knowledgeable candidate you're going to consider here today. I have not lived my life with a known disability. Up until a few years ago, my experience working with persons with disabilities was incredibly limited. I'm only just beginning to recognize and address my own challenges with anxiety and depression. Also, like Sarah, I had really no idea what to share with you today. And I thought I would maybe just give you a little bit of my career or talk a little bit about my career, and maybe hopefully that'll help you understand who I am and maybe how I can help this team. Professionally, I started my career with the state 19 years ago. I returned to Washington after living in Colorado for a few years with an expectant family, returning home to, unfortunately, what was the state with the highest unemployment rate in the nation at the time. After 3 months of job searching, I was lucky enough to find a non-permanent opportunity with the Department of Revenue. For 6 months, I did anything and everything I could do where help was needed, learning to do things where work was piling up. I just wanted to prove to the powers that be I was capable and would and could do anything. A few years after being hired, my division presented me with what ended up being a life-changing opportunity, which started me on the path I'm on today. As an administrative assistant, I found a professional role that centered on my primary personal value of helping others. For 10 years, I served those around me, leaders, peers, and division employees. I was blessed to learn so much about my agency, our employees, and the state in general. This greater work with personnel opened my eyes to the career I was destined for, and as a human resource consultant. For the past 4 years, I've utilized my knowledge and experience to improve and diversify our hiring practices, including delivering mitigating implicit bias in our hiring process to my agency hiring panel members. I am the culture respect facilitator for the Department of Revenue, helping grow a culture where 77% of our surveyed employees report as highly engaged, and another 22% are nearly there. Recently, my agency peers recognized me with our agency's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Award. Despite my experience, knowledge, and opportunity, I will still remind all my peers and colleagues I have so much to learn. Case in point, just a little over 2 years ago, I was asked by Revenue Leadership if I wanted to represent the agency on the Disability Inclusion Network. I'd never been part of a BRG. My only professional experience working with disabilities was during my first 2 years at Revenue, working with and training a former teammate who was deaf. And then later in my administrative role, working on the scheduling and contracts with ALS translators. I remember my friends' frustrations and being naturally empathetic. I believe this was a great opportunity to connect with others and to listen and to learn. I can't believe how much I've learned in these last 2 years. I'm still learning. And that is who I am and what I will be if you elect me to represent you as the DIN co-chair. I'm a longtime experienced state employee with advanced knowledge of how and why agency leaders make the decisions the way they do. I'm an engaged staffing consultant who gets to connect talent with opportunity while teaching them about my agency and Washington state government. I'm one of those happy few that absolutely love their job. I love the work that I do and who I get to work with. I will listen with great empathy, with an open mind. I will always continue to learn. I will honestly share my perspectives. I hope to even share a little levity when needed. If you decide you want me as your co-chair, I will support this BRG as this BRG feels it needs to be supported. Thank you.
Thank you, Lance. And not last but not least, Tawny, are you ready? You're on mute if you're speaking.
Yes, I'm ready, Jocelyn.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. My name is Tawny Bialy, and I currently work at DSHS DVR. And my current position is business relations consultant. I'm involved in helping employers with their recruitment needs, specifically with people with disabilities, but also within the larger workforce system. So I really enjoyed my time so far at DIN. I'm completely committed to the goal of DIN, of getting more diversity in state government and also getting people with disabilities hired. I think it's quite a challenge and we have a lot of work ahead of us. For this position, I envision supporting the entire DIN membership and also the chair and the co-chair. My career has been involved primarily in workforce development. I started out in education training programs and training people to change their careers. That started my path, and I've been passionate about this for a very long time. I look forward to the opportunity to serve everyone, and that's all I have. Thank you.